This is a biography on Martin Heidegger that he wrote, who was a German philosopher. It's super boring. I'm not going to get into it that much. I'll just get into one thing that I found that was really interesting and important about this book. It was one of his earlier ones. It was released in 1993. It's pretty boring. It's just a biography and isn't nearly as cool as 30 Years War, but the one interesting thing that we have to dwell on is because Heidegger is constantly critiqued nowadays when people, you know, from a whatever postmodernist perspective, because he was really involved with Nazism. He was like a German whatever philosopher working at the time of Nazism, so I think he was a Nazi, but he in this book is sort of like goes off and is like, you can excuse Nazism if fucking, you know, whatever, like just being a shithead, you know, like sort of defending him. But I found that extremely interesting, because Paul, has many times made comments saying the opposite about Walt Disney. This is important because it just shows that he is a contrarian flat out. He holds no real stake in the ground. You know, he just goes against the norm because everyone, the general consensus among humanity is that Heidegger was not very nice, but the general consensus amongst people with Walt Disney is we love him, and he's sort of like, fuck Walt Disney, I hate Walt Disney, and everyone's like, I hate Heidegger. He's like, well, I love Heidegger, you know, and he's going against his values that he just stated previously. So it's really important because I think it takes away a lot of the weight of the things he said, because it's like, if you're just saying something to get a ruse out of people, does it matter? You still said them, you know? Like if I wanted to annoy someone, I was like, I hate puppies. I still said I hate puppies. That's still putting hate speech out there. And obviously I'm using puppies as an example. It doesn't really matter, but with something like Nazism, like that's fucking different. Like you can't just whip that shit around. Anyways, I pulled up this post. This was posted Christmas Eve 2020. This is on a post about Thomas Kincaid. As per usual, he hates Thomas Kincaid. Hates him. In it, he writes, this is just the end. I'll just read off the end. He writes, Kincaid died in 2012 at the age of 54, thank fucking God, under a cloud of controversy related to alcoholism, infidelity, and legal troubles. His work still, unfortunately, remains famous in America among sister-fucking rednecks and Mormons. The year of his death, his company broke $4 billion in revenue. This is how I know that A, God is dead, and B, people have no taste. To admit Walt Disney being your idol is to cut off your hand and throw it into a newborn's cradle. Walt Disney was an anti-Semite and a racist. This should come as no shock. In the 1930s, Disney attended meetings of a pro-Nazi organization and German-American Bund. He also hosted a known Nazi propagandist and filmmaker, Leni Riefenstahl, and gave her a tour of Disney studios. And as we all know, Disney was also accused of perpetuating black stereotypes in films. But because, of course, some people will simply say, no, he wasn't. Disney has scores of supporters who claimed he was far from being either anti-Semitic or racist. And that is apparently proof enough of a debate on Disney's racism to this day, for some reason. Anyways, I could go on for days about this, and I know I have before. And I am starting to crash from the aerosol I huffed earlier. My head is starting to get foggy. So I'll leave this here and pick it up later. Thank you, children, as always, for listening. And this is also super interesting because, okay, this Nazism stance goes head to head, and then this hatred of Walt Disney, which he's mentioned before, goes against his love for Disney films. He fucking, The Hunchback of Notre Dame, he says multiple times, art peaked at Disney's Hunchback of Notre Dame. How the hell are you going to stand by that and also stand by this? He has no moral compass. He just does whatever he wants. And just saying that kind of sounds liberating, but no, it's not, right? I don't know. God, I don't know. Anyways, it doesn't even matter what my opinion is. I'm trying to not give my opinion too much. Even though I always give my opinion, I'm not trying to say this man is evil or this man is good. I'm trying to leave that up to your interpretation. I'm only stating the facts of the matter, and the fact of the matter is he contradicts himself constantly simply to go against the current. Salmon style. He's a salmon.